Let's go. Atlanta Falcons get the win over the Dallas Cowboys. What was that score? 27-20? 27-21. I just lost track of it again. Atlanta's won 5 out of their last 6. They moved to 6-3, and Cowboys fall to 3-5. Dak Prescott left the game with a hamstring injury. He said something happened to his hamstring that's never happened before. Loosely quoting there.
Okay.
He was being checked for a hand. The broadcast theorized it could have been his hand. Turns out it was his hamstring. So we saw some Cooper Rush down the stretch there. We also had a bit of a scare for CeeDee Lamb. AC joint, landed on it rough. Did come back into the game, but something to keep an eye on in the coming weeks. And Atlanta, the Bucs play tonight, but Atlanta taking a commanding lead now in the NFC South with a 6-3 record.
Yeah, they look good again.
They did.
And Dallas did not.
Bijan Robinson is becoming one of my hashtag fun to watch plays. I mean, he's always been, but called him an artist a couple weeks ago.
Save that. Put a pin in that because we're going to come back to that later today.
Bijan?
No, the artist. Just
the
remember
artist.
that you used that. We're coming back to that.
Okay.
Trust me.
I just love watching Bijan play. Five first downs on the ground, 4 through the air. Just such a smooth runner, and it wasn't the dominant run game performance that the Cowboys have given up this year.
Right.
But one of those effective, we're getting 5, we're getting 7, we're getting 8 from the Atlanta offense, and a very efficient Kirk Cousins outing, finishing 19 of 24 for 222, 3 scores.
Particularly late in the game, they were able to kind of, it's another one of those games. Dallas is threatening a comeback, and Atlanta was able to kind of salt away the win because they were able to run the ball later on when they wanted to chew that clock. That definitely helped. Bijan's ability to make a guy miss just effortlessly in space is insane. Like his at full speed, or it's almost a guarantee that he's going to make the first guy grasp at air and not touch him. Like it's crazy how good he is at that. But yeah, Bijan was good, particularly through the air. He made some ridiculously good plays. Drake London got the early touchdown. They threw him normally I hate the end zone fade. If there's one guy I'd be kind of okay with taking a shot at, it's Drake London, who's insane at those. Like his ability to box out and just go up and he might be. We talked about George Pickens being the best contested catch receiver in the NFL. Drake London might be the best sort of jump ball guy in the NFL.
You know who really is the best contested catch guy? Is Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
It's really Justin Jefferson.
Probably.
He doesn't have as many opportunities because he's so open all the time,
right.
But he really is the best. Anyway, London with a beautiful up and
like a slot fade,
catch.
Just plucks that out of the air. Amazing play.
You also have they go for it on 4th and 3, and I'll just say it again. It's a long field goal opportunity that the Falcons turned down.
Right.
There's still, I mean, we're kind of old, but there's older than us men screaming at clouds about people. I gave up the points. I mean, what it would have been a 53-yard field goal. That's money in today's NFL.
Money.
You know, that's money. But Kirk Cousins, instead, it becomes a 36-yard touchdown on a little pickish type of play to Darnell Mooney. But like I said it last week, Raheem Morris has had a decision or two per game in a bunch of games where it's a 4th and 3 here and there, and it's a low red zone. This is more like, it's on the borderline. It's in the gray area. But the 4th and 3 touchdown is a massive swing in this game in the second quarter to go up 14-3.
And this is also, I think, a great example in an individual game of how important the play calling, the play design, and the coaching is in those decisions, right? We've always said you have 2 different decisions when you're deciding, do you go for it or not on the 4th down? There's what do the numbers say, right? The analytics, the scary thing that Troy and Joe Buck hate. Like, what do the numbers tell you to do? Go for it, no go, right? Binary decision, essentially, based off, marginal gains and win percentage points, won or lost. Then there's, okay, the numbers say go. What's your play for this scenario? What's your play for 4th and 1, 4th and 3, whatever? What do you want to go for it with, right? So in this game, you had Atlanta, who goes for the 4th and 3, gets it, good play design, reasonably high percentage thing, works out great for them. And then you have Dallas going for it on a series of 4th down plays and just a clown show from start to finish, like ridiculous things that they're doing, including throwing a pass on a fake punt, where punts, you can't be done for defensive pass interference on a punt, which is why most fake punts are not passes, because the guy can just get mugged and it's not a penalty. So the intended receiver is like tossed to the ground, and the vice guy, the corner, actually ends up dropping what would have been a pick six. But like, these are bad play calls to be going for it on fourth down.
The other one was the failed jet sweep.
Yes.
To CeeDee Lamb, which
right.
I think the play call's fine on that. It just didn't work.
Maybe. I mean, generally,
Caden Ellis, unbelievable play.
These sort of lateral runs on fourth and short, I don't know, are great moves. But anyway, Dallas on fourth down in this game was like, they had 12 men. They had 12 men on the field for a field goal.
They had 12 men on the field when they wanted to go for it. They had the fake punt, as you mentioned,
right.
which was awful, and they got stopped on a jet sweep.
Those
things add up to like, this is a big reason why you lost.
They were 0 for 3 on fourth down. At one point, they were 0 for 6 on third down. And I think at least 2 of those 3 calls were, coaching failures, right? Deciding to fake punt with a pass where a guy can just get mugged, having 12 men on the field. These are coaching breakdowns. We can debate whether or not the CeeDee Lamb thing was a good call or not, but my point being, on at least 2 of the 3 failures on fourth down, you can point directly to coaching and say that's a screw-up, whereas Atlanta goes for it on 4th and 3 and dials up a good play and it works and everything's good. So you have this world where not only are you deciding, is it worth going for it on fourth down or not, it's like, are you capable of going for these plays or not, which is a factor.
Yeah, those were absolutely huge plays in this game. And so, like, the failed jet sweep, Falcons make the stop, and then a few plays later, they go for the 4th and 3, get the long touchdown to Darnell Mooney. The other touchdown, Kirk Cousins to Ray McCloud, clean, pristine pocket. I mean, look, the Cowboys are 3-5, and there's a lot of issues, but they've been playing, with one hand tied behind their back as far as pass rush goes, based off how they built this team. Micah Parsons to Marcus Lawrence. So the Darnell Mooney touchdown, they go all-out blitz, can't cover on the back ends. Then they go 4-man rush, and Cousins has a pristine pocket to hit, sit there forever, wait for Ray McCloud to clear and hit him. So Dallas has multiple options, and Atlanta, really nice job taking advantage of those issues that Dallas has defensively. Yeah. One more thing I wanted to highlight. I stumbled into Dan Orlovsky video.
Oh, yeah?
They threw a little swing screen to Bijan Robinson, and Dano was breaking down. He's like, so the safety's calling for somebody to adjust to the motion with Bijan,
right?
And no one moved because they had 10 men on the field. And so from a Dallas perspective, they have 10 men on the field on a key third down to Bijan.
Really early in the game.
The second third down of the game.
Right.
They have 12 men on the field for a key offensive play. They have a fake punt. I mean, everything is just losing football. They're playing losing football.
Details. Details, and when you start criticizing details on a regular basis, that generally is a coaching failure. Ultimately he's responsible for the details, right? If the details are consistently being missed, whose responsibility is that?
If Jerry gets the wrong mint julep, if it's just not made the right way, if the details aren't there in the mint julep, do you think that
who's responsible?
Whoever made it.
Right.
Whoever's making the drink. Right?
Or at least,
Do you think is he going back to the same
overseeing
bartender?
The bar, overseeing the catering.
Oh.
Ultimately the buck stops somewhere.
Is he firing that caterer?
Somebody's getting fired. Damn it. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Carl Lawson. As you said, Dallas's pass rush without Micah Parsons has been pretty bad. And it was still pretty bad in this game. But Carl Lawson had a very Carl Lawson game, actually, where he didn't have his win percentage is not going to be particularly good, but the wins that he got were decisive good and got sacks out of them. Like, this was sort of a throwback to when Carl Lawson was a really productive sack artist with plays like this, and then injuries had hit, and we hadn't really seen that guy for a long time. But it was I felt good for him seeing him show up and make a couple of plays.
Just to reiterate, from a standings perspective, the Falcons being 6-3, Bucs are their top contender. They've got the 2-win tiebreaker over the Bucs. The Falcons are putting some distance between them and the Bucs, who have to play Kansas City tonight, the Niners next week. So pivotal few weeks here for the NFC South race, and the Falcons looking really good right now.
Yeah.
Whereas the Cowboys,
not so much.
Eagles next week, then the Texans and Commanders. So some 3 tough games against winning teams, and Dak Prescott with a hamstring injury. CeeDee Lamb with his AC joint that looked really bad when he first did it. He got up clutching his shoulder immediately, having dive for a ball in the end zone. I would suggest that his availability is kind of tied to Dak Prescott's availability.
If you're CeeDee Lamb, I don't know how keen you're going to be to battle through the shoulder injury with Cooper Rush as your quarterback versus Dak Prescott. Meanwhile, Jerry's out here saying he still has total confidence in everybody in the building, including the coaches. Like, I don't know. It's not good for Dallas.
Cancel the stadium tours. We're in panic time in Dallas.
No. Double them.
Double the tours.
More tours. Tours for everybody. Compulsory tours.
Make more money for the team.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.